Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Building a Leadership Mindset podcast. I'm your host, Nikki C., all the way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Super excited to bring you another amazing guest, an entrepreneur, a business owner, a speaker, coach. She is just absolutely phenomenal. Can't wait for you to meet her. Before we get into all that jazz, we're going to just send huge shout outs to our sponsors that make this happen for us. And that is Jose Escobar with the Connected Leaders Academy, Julie and Noah with Breathe Capital Planning, and Patrick Rude with the Dirty Little Secret Society. All righty. So we are probably 3 weeks after the Warrior Women Bomb Global Conference, and it was absolutely spectacular. We had that June 1st in New Jersey, and we're bringing some of the VIP speakers and our keynote speakers back to just share their experience, share their story, and how you can connect with their just impactful mission. And the first person we have today is Solana Lewis. She is the owner of Strength Solutions Inc., a powerlifting and nutrition coaching business. Solana is a world champion power lifter and has a heart of coaching people to become the strongest versions of themselves, both on and off the platform. Solana's works with lower to middle school kids as co-coordinator of the podcast club, helping kids learn how to interview and host social media interviews. Without further ado, let's get this powerhouse on here. Like literally, hello, Solana, how are you?
I'm good, Nikki. How are you?
I am well. So happy to have you here. It has been an absolute pleasure just getting to know you and joining in this mission that we had for the Warrior Women Bomb Global Conference. And your presence there was just absolutely phenomenal. And we haven't really talked since. So I am like super excited just to kind of get first, how did you get connected with Desiree and with us? Secondly, um, how was the mission just getting there and how was it overall?
Yeah, so I got to meet Desiree through my current speaking coach, who is Brandon Gay Doris, who I only met in December at a networking event that was hosted by Tony Peck. And I was introduced to him and like we just talked. And I was like, you know what? I told myself 2024 was the year where I was going to just go for it. Like, if anything was an opportunity that I thought could possibly like enhance my life and help me enhance others' lives, I was going to go for it. So when I met him, he told me about his speaker school, which is learning about public speaking. I was like, I speak publicly already, and I could use help understanding how to like do it in front of actual people. I do so much podcasting. I've hosted webinars. I do a lot of stuff online. I have a podcast, etc. Right, but it's all online. But like, I want to learn how to speak in front of like real people because like that scares me. Like people think like, people go up to me and say, "Oh my gosh, I love her speaking." I'm like, great, but I talk to a screen. I'm never worried. I'm never nervous. So yeah, so I took his speaker school, and then he afterwards was like, "Hey, you should meet my friend Desiree. She's doing this conference in New Jersey, which is near you, and it's an all women's conference. And I think you guys would like do like great together. Like if I connect you to." So he connected us, and I got on the phone with her, and like I learned all about her mission with the conference and a bit about her story, and I just loved it. And at first, I was like, you know what, I'll just attend it, and then I felt like the Holy Spirit telling me like, you need to speak. Like you promised yourself you're gonna go for it this year, and you signed up just to be there. But you should speak. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. So I texted Desiree. I was like, I know I said I would just do like the lower tier one, but like I want to do the one where I get 5 minutes of speaking time instead. And so she said yes. And then that's it. Like I went on the Facebook group calls. I got to learn more and more about the people who were gonna be there. And I'm so thankful I did that because I got to like really learn these women. Like they're really cool. Like, and we all have different stories and we've all overcome a lot of things. And I think what's also cool is that me being younger, there were a lot of older women that I got to like learn from. And that's great for me because some of them I'm like, oh, like I aspire to be more like you. Like, this is great. Like, I'm so happy that I'm able to be like in a room full of women who have been making impact for a longer time than I have. Because that means I can learn from them and elevate myself too, while hopefully they can learn something from me. So
Absolutely, absolutely. What an inspiration. That's the wisdom there, right? That's the time spent, the work put in, and being able to pull exactly what we need, because God's going to guide those conversations, right? He's
Mhm.
going to definitely put you in the right place with the right people. And I love that you said that you opted to purchase the lower tier ticket, right? To just come and receive, but you were God said, no, you have something to give. And I totally felt that. The room felt it. I think every woman had did just such an amazing job. I was taking notes, and then I was just not taking notes because I was just so leaned in to the energy, to the space. Um, so you get on stage, you're there, you're meeting all these amazing women. Um, what was that experience like?
Yeah. So when I first got there, of course, there were a lot of nerves, but I love how you guys started with the breakfast where you all got to talk about what you wanted to get out of that day. Because just hearing like other people being like, hey, I want to like meet new people today. I want to make new connections today, whatever it was. I was like, okay, me too. Like, okay, I'm already feeling more comfortable because we all want to learn from each other. So that was a great way to start it because I already felt better. Whereas if we just walked in and got started, I'd be like, I don't know anybody except for on Facebook, and that's not the same thing. Like I didn't even get to shake your hand yet, so that was great. And then just even from the beginning, like I got so much out of the 5 minute keynotes and the longer ones. The longer ones I love. That's when I was taking notes because I do aspire to do like longer keynotes. And I was like, okay, like how are they doing it? Like what, like how are they drawing me? And every single person I could understand the point of their overall speech, and like I had takeaways from it. So it really taught me like, okay, like you have to like do it this way, like you have to tell a lot of stories throughout it, but the stories like they really like got my attention, so like they were just really well done. And then I loved the 5 minute notes because just like, oh, what's her name, the person who was the MC,
Carolyn.
Carolyn. So she was amazing. I'm obsessed with her. Obsessed. I'm like, when I go back to Texas, cause I love Texas. When I go back, I'm gonna find you. We need to hang out. So the way she would introduce everybody, she was like, the 5 minute keynotes are like powerhouses. It's 5 minutes of like in your face, but like that's exactly what it was. Like it was 5 minutes of like, here's the quick story, but I'm gonna really like take you through a story in 5 minutes, and I just loved it. And there's still some people that I connected with, like that I really vibe with, and we're still talking today, and we're like talking about like the next time we're gonna meet up. So I got so much out of that. um like I just really enjoyed it, and then even for myself, I was so thankful. I think it was God. I was like, God, let me go early because I'm so nervous, and this is like an all-day event. If you had me go last, I will freak out. And I think I was the second 5 minute keynote, and thank God, because not only did I get the nerves out the way, but like I was so excited and hyper. Like I like ran on the stage and I was like ready to go. And I just did it. I was like, I'm done. I
Was that your first ever speaking live?
Yes, that was my first time ever speaking live. I have done everything but speak in front of a group of people. I've done live streams even where there's like 1,000 people watching, but I can just see myself. So it does not freak me out. This was so different.
Yes, I am so happy. I'm happy that we were able to know the assignment, deliver on the assignment, and that God bring exactly the speakers that we needed to amplify this first annual Warrior Women Bomb Global Conference. And let me just tell you, you delivered beyond what our expectations were. Each and every woman that stepped on that stage and broke that chain of fear, of what are people going to think, of getting my story out, all those things we kind of go through. I had my first ever on stage 2 years ago, where I entered in, it was actually a competition, a speaking competition, because I knew I wanted to speak. So how are you going to speak if you don't get on a stage? So congratulations to you, you've done it. I know you're going to hit many more stages, and you are going to impact many. It's great to do it online. We have a huge range, but there's nothing like being in a room with women that are on the same trajectory as far as growth and impact and self development, personal development, and just true, authentic relationship building.
I completely agree with you. And like I said, like there's people who I met, even just being at the table, like talking to everybody and getting to learn more about them. I just really enjoyed it because I got to ask them questions, I get to learn them. And also one thing I did, which I think my speaking coach prepared me for, he was like, okay, like just pay attention to like how they speak and overall like if you can take away from it. And the people who really like had me like thinking, wow, I really remember a week later what you spoke about. Like those are people out there. I have to reach out to them. I have to make sure I give them like a review. Like I have to make sure we stay connected because that's just a great way to have a connection to someone who like I know I can learn from, but I know they also appreciated me. So I really loved it.
Absolutely. So thank you again for that. But I also want on this segment to really showcase who you are and what you do. What was your, let's start with your kind of your upbringing and what led you to do what you're doing today.
Yes. So what I do, you mentioned it beautifully before in the beginning. I'm a powerlifting coach and I also coach nutrition. My entire business is actually women who I coach, which is not really coincidental. It's not like I'm not allowed to coach men, but like I literally just I love helping women get stronger physically and mentally. And how that happened, to make a longer story short, my whole life I knew I loved sports, and that's all I knew that I loved. Like I was not interested in school. I was not like I tried, school, but I was not interested in school. I was not interested in anything else. When I got to college, I learned there was a major called exercise science. I was like, there's a major with the word exercise in it. That's crazy. So I majored in it. At the same time, as a sophomore in college, I found the sport of powerlifting through a friend at the gym who I was just working out with. And when I went to watch them compete, like I was like, wait a minute, there's women competing, and the woman looked incredible. Like they looked strong and happy, and the environment was insane. Like they were just cheering for each other, and there was just this community feel that I had. And I was like, you know what? I think I could enjoy the sport of powerlifting. And that was at 18. I did my first meet and I loved it. And now I'm 28. And in the meantime, I've become a world champion. I've become a full time coach. Like I never stopped doing it. So that friend really introduced me to something that changed my whole life. And throughout it, I was someone who had very low confidence, and I also struggled with like uh just body image issues and a lot of like just insecurities that I had. And powerlifting was a major part of changing that because you focus on lifting as heavy as you can. You don't focus on what your body looks like. There's a weight class for everyone, from 100-pound weight class to literally 300+ pound, like a weight class for every human being. So it's never about how you look on the platform when you compete. It's about how strong you are. And no matter how strong you are, we're all cheering you on. It could be your first meet, or it could be at the World Championships, and we're all cheering each other on because it's such a community sport. And when I fell in love with that, it just, again, it changed my life. It gave me friendships that I've had for years. It gave me a business that I'm obsessed with because I get to just help women get stronger. But also, they always tell me throughout the journey, like, hey, this has really built my confidence up. Hey, I love that. I have older women too who are 40s and 50s. Like, hey, I can bring in all my groceries. I can take care of myself in a way that I never knew that I thought I'd be able to. As I got older, my kids, I'm inspiring my kids. I'm stronger than some of my kids in my 50s. I'm like, who would think in your 50s you're stronger than like your teenage son? You know what I mean? But they're inspiring their family to care about their overall health. And the main focus, again, is not about like what you look like, but overall, I always get told that they love how their body is changing because they're focused on their strength and eating to fuel their strength, not eating to look a certain way. And so there's so many benefits that come with the sport. And because it's a sport that's so easy to get into, like you just need a gym membership, like a barbell and plates is at nearly every gym you can think of. So its entry level is so easy that it really can be for anyone, and that's why I love it so much.
Oh my goodness, that is so cool that you get to find your passion, along your journey. Sometimes we're just trying to figure it out and we're thinking we may like this, we may want to do this, we may want to, but we don't even try it to even accept it, to say, okay, this is ours, this is my purpose, I'm going to walk in this. And the fact that you were able to do that at such a young age and really be able to showcase not just your strength but empower other women to do the same thing. And I love that it wasn't about the body image. It was about more feeling good, being able to do the things that maybe once upon a time we couldn't do, right? Or we limit ourselves because we're like, okay, that's just too much. Um, but let's go back a little bit because you said something about having problems with self confidence. Tell us a little bit about where that steered from and why it was important to gain it. Was that even a mission to gain your confidence when you entered into this?
It was it a mission? I don't know if that was on the forefront of my mind, but it became it as I started to gain the confidence. I would say I had body image issues definitely starting in middle school, but really going into high school. There's just like this innate pressure to look a certain way. It's not like it was telling me I had to look a certain way. Personally, my story is very, I was very skinny with this might sound weird, but like I had like my boobs are really big, but I was skinny, so it looked really awkward to me, right? And women would comment on it in the locker rooms, like before gym class, like so I felt really insecure about it. And I was like, okay, I need to just like maybe get smaller and they'll shrink. Like that was like my thought process or something. But it truly led to, even though I did sports all the time, it led to me eating as little as possible to try to make my body maybe look a certain way that was more even, so people would stop making comments about it. And these
Mhm.
comments weren't even, I think, to hurt my feelings, but middle school, high school is brutal. And also, it's at that time, the school I went to was a Christian school that was predominantly Caucasian people. I was one of four African American kids in the whole high school. And I could just tell that like no one found me attractive. Now, did that have anything to do with my body type? No. Okay, no. But I was just trying so hard to like be liked by people who just weren't interested in liking me. And so somehow my mind said like if I can change my body, if I can eat as little as possible, somehow I'll get more liked. Did that work? No, it didn't. But it definitely led to me feeling horrible all the time. And it was a big struggle for me. So when I went into college at the time I was 17, that's when I even discovered weightlifting. And I still was struggling with body image and like how to like just eat food in a way that made me feel better. But just the confidence I started gaining just from lifting weights and being like, oh, my body is starting to change from lifting weights, not from under eating, but from lifting weights. And then learning throughout the process of powerlifting, especially having coaches who were like, hey, to get stronger, you have to eat more. And I was like, eat more? No one's ever told me to eat more before. Like, that's crazy. But I was like, I'm going to give it a shot because I signed up for this competition. I said I'm going to do it. And just along the way, it turned into, wait, I'm eating more and feeling better. I'm eating more and getting stronger. I'm eating more and like my body's changing in a way that I like. And then my confidence started to go up. And I was like, oh, if I keep this up, I'll be really confident. And what's crazy is throughout high school, I definitely had a speech impediment. You can tell I talk fast, but I talked so fast no one could understand what I was saying. I had teachers who said, like, if you don't stop talking like this, you'll never make it anywhere in life. If you don't stop talking like this, you're not going to be able to get a job. No one can understand what you're saying. Like that speech impediment made my life not great. So now I speak on platforms, which is insane. But a big part of that was truly from powerlifting. Like being on a platform, you are essentially on a stage. It's not the same thing. You're not speaking, but I got used to people looking at me and me trying my best and giving my all while everyone was looking at me. And this somehow has transformed to I can do that on and off the platform. So it turned into a journey of me trying to get confidence, but it didn't start that way. It started with just, this looks cool. Let me give it a shot.
Oh, I love it. I just get chills about it because I know so many, and even including myself, growing up, high school, grade school, the people can be really, really mean. They just really can. And words can hurt and damage our mindset at a very young age. That if we don't have any type of confidence or we don't build that confidence in some way, shape, or form, it can ultimately be the deciding factor if we're going to take action or not in our lives. So the fact that you were able to identify that and use that to your advantage and leverage it, um, we never want to feel like crap, right? We never want to not love ourselves, but the main thing is that we do have to love ourselves before we can um really step into those milestones and those things that God placed in our way. And for that, that was that was powerlifting for you. So I know you like sports, and we'll take a break in a minute. What's your favorite sport besides
Watch
powerlifting? Yeah, to watch. Yeah, let's do
track
it.
and field. Track and field.
Track and field. Okay. Did
100%.
you ever
Yes,
play?
I did track and field my entire starting at 5 years old, all the way through high school. So I was the 4x4, triple jump, and long jump. That was me. But I love watching people sprint. I think it's because these women are fast, but they also have muscle, and I'm kind of obsessed with muscle now. So to know that like muscle helps you get faster too, I'm like, this is incredible.
That is awesome. Did you ever play like basketball, volleyball, all those other
Yes,
types of
I
sports
did
as well?
all the sports. I was on swim team when I was younger, and then middle school through high school, I did volleyball, I did soccer and basketball and track and field. Those are my main four.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, I was a dancer from a very young age at 5. And then I kind of went into the basketball scene. And, just growing up in Chicago with the Chicago Bulls, winning 6 championships in grade school. I was a short power forward. And I loved the game. I still love the game till this day. Sometimes my granddaughters are like, come on, let's play. And I haven't played in a couple years, but we still got it. We still got it. Doesn't matter what age you are, just keep moving, keep, making sure that you are continuously active, right?
Yes.
In this age. So we're going to go deeper into exactly what you do in just a moment. We're going to listen to our sponsors real quick, and we'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're a growing tribe, a community of entrepreneurs all over the world, globally, all across the country, high performers, titans of industry. If you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to grow personally and professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, move the needle in your business, more clients, more money, more profit, the bottom line, and of course, grow your circle and your network like never before, this is where you want to be. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. We are scaling massively. We want to welcome you in. Check me out on Instagram and on Facebook, the @ JAESCO25. We look forward to having you join us. Take care.
Hello. We are back with Solana Lewis. She, again, is the owner of Strength Solutions Inc. She is super phenomenal. Met her in June, and so happy that she's on here. So tell us more about your company. How did it get started? When was that turning point that you said, you know what, I'm going to make this a business?
Yes. So after I graduated college, I went straight to working at Equinox, which is like a higher end personal training gym, and I was struggling. I struggled for years there. I just learned, I got a lot out of it, but I learned that working as a personal trainer in person for general population, it wasn't my thing. Like I enjoyed helping people get more fit, but I as an athlete had this heart of like I want people to be better at sport. Like that's what I love. I love sports, not just like let's just get fit for fun. Also, the motivation level was just so different where I felt like I was dragging people into the gym like come on for your health, but athletes are just different. We're just built different. So when I was, it was 2020. Well, however old I was in 2020. No, I'm sorry, 2019. I had a friend who I had known was a personal trainer and independent contractor. And he was like, you should like do personal training, but like outside the gym, like do it at this spot and you can like charge your own rate. I was like, I'm going to do that. So I did that, got some clients over there that he helped me get. And as I started that, I decided to start doing online coaching as well. I was like, I want to try and mix online coaching and in-person coaching. I still didn't really have powerlifters yet. I wasn't well enough known for as a powerlifter. I wasn't like putting out content for social media. But when 2020 panoramic happened, that is when I went fully online, and I was still mostly like a regular trainer online. But the fact that I had to kind of force everyone that I had to be online, I was like, I really like online. I like just online coaching. Let me do online coaching for powerlifting, because I already had an online powerlifting coach, and I was like, I can do what he does. Like, let me just do it. And like from 2020 on, I was like, I'm a full-time online powerlifting coach. And it took me like 2 years to really become known as a powerlifting coach. But at this point, all my athletes, besides like two of them, are powerlifting athletes. And so I've definitely etched my name into powerlifting coaching. And I would tell you how I do it. So people are like, how do you coach online? Okay. I basically write programming for all of my athletes. And then because the sport is squat, bench, and deadlift in the gym, they record themselves lifting, send me their videos, and I give them video feedback on every single lift, if they're executing it properly, if we need to adjust it. And then I give them the numbers to hit so we can progress towards a competition. And then with nutrition coaching, same kind of thing. If they are doing a competition, we have weight classes. So I just make sure they're either maintaining a good weight, and then I give them the foods to eat to help them with their training. It's very flexible. It's not strict at all, but it is like we have to make sure we stay within this range, because you have to be at this weight for the meet. Which is the only interesting thing that about powerlifting. Like, I love the sport so much, but we do have weight classes. So some people do have to like cut weight to be in the class, which can sometimes lead to like being tougher on the body image, but it depends how like what level of athlete you are. But I love that part, because for me it's science. It's like I get to figure out exactly what foods you got to eat and exactly where your calories need to be to make sure you're at this exact weight at this exact date and time. So for me, it's like a numbers game, and I love that.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. I wanted to do when I was in corporate America. I worked in healthcare, and I was in the call center, but they offered a certification program to become um, a licensed pharmacy tech. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. I can, move up, and, salary can go up, all that good stuff. And I took the course from beginning to end, great scores, but I found out I didn't want to do, and I love math. And I didn't want to do the calculations, the MLs on like IVs and, different solutions and stuff like that. So I kind of just said, you know what, I guess this is not for me. And I knew it wasn't, but it's something that you try, right? It's something that you tap into and you see how it works. Was it at ever all scary for you in the process? And did you ever feel like you just wanted to kind of throw in the towel? And what did that look like?
Yeah, first of all, in 2020, I also moved out on my own, mostly because I don't know if y'all were in the same situation as me, but like being stuck at home with family, like trapped in the house, like you can't leave because we're gonna die. No, I had to move out. Very, I love y'all, but like I'm going to go crazy. So I really moved out trusting God, because all I had was the money from this very new online business, where I had some clients, but they were also all in a weird spot with the pandemic. And I was like, I don't know if they'll even stay with me. They might like want to save money and stop working with me, because their businesses are being like changed because of this. So even just getting started, it was fully on faith. It was so scary for me. I was like, yo, like I can't pay my bills if y'all leave. Like I don't have enough clientele to like even handle two people leaving me. I would say too, in 2021, when I was really struggling to get the powerlifting athletes, I was starting to be like, maybe I should just do like personal training online, but not powerlifting coaching. But I knew my passion lied in powerlifting coaching. And to be honest, I can think of how many female, like really well-known powerlifting coaches there are, and they fit on one hand. But I can use my hands and my toes to count all the men. So I was like, no, I really want to be like a female coach who is known for coaching this sport. There's not a lot of us at all. And I just see men dominating it to the point where I don't even think like more well-known athletes like who are higher up in sport even consider the female coaches. So I knew I had to like keep trying at it. So 2021 was a rough year. 2022 was getting better and I was getting more to powerlifting athletes. I have really seen the fruits of my labor 2023 and this year. To the point where I still post consistently, but I don't necessarily advertise that I have a spot open for athletes and they still come to me because of just all the work I put in with being at meets as much as possible in New Jersey and New York and the tri-state area. If there's a meet, I'm at it. I became a national referee, so I'm refereeing. People don't just see me competing, but they see me helping out in the sport. They see me coaching or refereeing. I'm working the scores table. If I see someone really struggling, it's like their first meet, and I'm like, you're struggling. I will help them out and like not be like, I'm going to charge you to help you. I'm just like, yo, I want to help you out. So that's what really helped build my business, was just being very present in the sport as much as I could and being as helpful and as vocal as I could be. So I'm very thankful for it because now I feel like, okay, like it was all for something. Like I love what I do and I thank God every day I get to do it because a lot of people don't like what they do for a living. I have my dream job.
Oh my goodness. I wouldn't even say job. I would say career. I would say, your passion, your business, all that good stuff. It doesn't feel like work to you, does it?
No, it really doesn't.
So
Rarely.
we're not going to call it a job.
Yeah, very rarely.
But I love that you said a few things that it took, because what I see so often as an implementation coach, as a business coach, as a speaker, author coach, and just seeing everybody in all these different spaces is that when they don't see immediate results, people tend to kind of shy off. So in the beginning, we go in and we're like, hey, this is what we're doing. And people are congratulating us. Oh, you deserve it. Oh, you can do this. And then that stops because either you're not present, you're not consistent, you don't have that game plan that's gonna prepare you for the ambushes of the world, right? The limiting beliefs, the naysayers, the haters, you have to have all of that intact. But the fact that um, you didn't give up, and the fact that you said you've seen the fruits of your labor 2023 and 2024, I feel like I'm in, that's kind of my story as well. Now, I've been working on this for 20 years as a thought of what I wanted to do, doing everything that I do today. But it was really when we got smacked in the face with the pandemic, right? Where people either decided to sit back and just wait it out, or people said, you know what, I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity. Like, I feel that 2020 is perfect vision. Let's just be real.
I didn't know about that.
Things got really clear in 2020 for most if they took advantage of it. So the fact that you decided to convert and said, okay, well, I'm stuck online now, there's no questions asked about that. We're not going anywhere. And I'm going to not only do that, but I'm also going to move out. I'm going to gain my independence. I'm going to jump on faith, and faith is going to guide me through this. Like, I'm just telling you that brings me chills, because that's exactly what I did when I left 14 years of corporate America. The consistent pay every 2 weeks, the benefits, all that good stuff. And my way out was becoming a notary, just witnessing people signing signatures to their loan applications. And I'm like, is this going to get me to where I need to go? But I jumped on faith and I did it. I'm here 4 years later and I don't want to go back. I've been asked to go back twice, either as a temp or as an independent contractor, but that's just not my thing. God definitely led you to this, right? And you grabbed onto it and you were very consistent. Tell me, what leadership mindset did you have to have in order to become successful? Because sometimes we lose that. Like, what are some disciplines that you needed to create for yourself to say, you know what, I'm staying in this regardless if things just blow up in my face, but you were the confidence that you had, you're like, this is gonna work. I'm gonna make sure this works.
Yes.
Tell me about that. What leadership mindset did you have to have for that?
So first of all, I had to invest in a business coach because I was like, I just ain't gonna work unless I have someone pushing me. And what I did was I invested in a friend who was just starting as a business coach. So like it was pretty low cost because again, I really did not have money when I moved out. Like I really couldn't be like, let me just do this $10,000 business coaching program. So that was just amazing for accountability, which I needed because like I knew that I would have a lot of self doubt. And then on top of that, what really helped me was when I started to get some people, my biggest focus was to take as good care of them as possible. I see a lot of people who stress out about not getting more clients, but like they don't take care of the clients they have well enough. I see it all the time. I've seen people lose businesses over it. And I'm like, but you had like 5 clients, but you didn't take care of them. But you were like so stressed about getting more. But the ones that were paying you, you did not take care of. So I knew if I gave them my all, eventually I would start to get referrals. And the referrals took years. It's only like 2023 that people were like, oh, your client referred me. Even when I did a good job with athletes, it took years for them to actually trust me enough to refer me. But that was big. And then along with that, social media is your best friend for online business. And we all know that. However, I am not the best with social media. I may be younger, so it's not like I struggle to go on Instagram, but I'm not creative when it comes to making like a reel or a post. Like I'm very like I know the words, but I don't know how to make it pretty, whatever. But what I had to learn was just get it out there. Get the content out. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It doesn't have to be like this a reel that looks like you use a beautiful camera that costs $10,000 and you have all of these different like transitions. I'm like, if I need to focus on that, it'll take me a week to get out one post and I'll never get athletes. So I just posted everything I could think of. If it was a picture with a lot of words, you got that. If it was a reel, but it's just me working out, but like a voiceover, you got that because that's easy for me in my mind to do. So being consistent with content. And then a big thing was making my podcast. That was the scariest thing because there were only at the time 2 well-known powerlifting podcasts, and of course hosted by men, which is cool. And I was like, is there a single female-led powerlifting podcast? I found like 2, but like truly, I had to search for them, like search, and they weren't even very consistent. So I was like, I'm gonna make my name known through podcasting, and of course self-doubt. But also, when I gave some of my friends that idea or told them about my idea, they were like, podcasting is oversaturated. It's oversaturated. I was like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I know I'm not going to go on YouTube because I can't stand making pretty videos, but I can talk on a microphone. I can do that and I can post it. So being consistent with that and having the accountability from my coach being like, just keep going, come up with ideas and then talk about it. It can be 20 minutes. It can be an hour. It doesn't matter. That really helped me a lot. The amount of people who told me that being a coach full time was unrealistic is insane. Because a lot of people do this coaching bit. They do coaching on the side on the side of 9 to 5. And it shows because a lot of them lose their athletes because they are so busy with their 9 to 5 and they think of it as a side business. They don't really care about it. I knew if I gave it my all, I went all in, it could be a full-time business.
I love that. I love that. And I love that you said that your friends told you that podcasting is saturated. Like, it doesn't matter. The fact that it's it's your splash of Solana, right? It's your words, it's your passion. And maybe the world globally may not listen to it immediately, but at least you have something for your clients. And that's what people really need to think about, is that you're building all these platforms as an additional tool for your clients or your prospects, just so that people know who you are. Give a name for yourself, right? No one is going to know you unless you tell them who you are, unless you show up. I love that you said, even with your reels, that, or your content, you just do it, don't make it perfect. When I started my podcast, I started like, I would pace right here in my basement office, and you can hear me like panting because I'm so passionate about it. Did I go and edit it? Did I add a sound to it? No. Why? Because the message was what was important. And sometimes we need to kind of remove that, and that's such a leadership mindset, Solana, that if we can shift that in some of the people that we know, if they just do it anyway, like life is going to change. There's no way life cannot change when you change. Like your people are waiting for us, right? To change, right?
Yes.
Your people are waiting for you to change. And I'm talking to our listeners and our audience right now, is that just do it. Nike did not put that slogan for nothing. That's exactly like my mantra. That's what I tell my ladies all the time, is like, you're never going to know until you do it. So let us know, what are you working on right now? How can people get a hold of you?
Yes, right now I'm still doing full-time coaching and nutrition and powerlifting. So you can get a hold of me through my website, strengthsolutionsinc.com, or my Instagram, Solana_lifts, LIFTS, like lifts weights. You can DM me there. That's really easy. I'm also on TikTok as well as Solana_lifts. So I'm not there as often, but I do check what's going on over there too.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for a keynote speaker, select Solana. Definitely seek her out. She's absolutely powerful. Her mission is impactful, and she will definitely, no matter what background you're having for your stage, what type of event, I believe that your story is going to be impactful, especially if they're looking for someone to take action, to just do it, to really get to the next step, to break those limiting beliefs, because we all have them.
Yes.
We all have them. And even in success, sometimes they try to creep back in. But when you're prepared to remove that inner hater, you'll be well off. There's no one that can stop you. And I feel like, Solana, you're unstoppable at this point. Like, no one is going to tell you otherwise. I love that you stepped into that purpose. I love that you've seen the avenue of, wait a minute, women are not dominating this space. I'm going to be that open door for other women that are ready to join me to do that. It's just so impactful to see. And I want women that are listening to this podcast now, is that no matter what idea you have for a business, if you have a business and you're just stuck and all these other things, get with a coach. You cannot do it without a coach. I have two, and then I also coach. So, and then community is also a great low cost coach, right? Because now you have a number of people that are going to share their stories, share their advice. They're going to give you feedback on the spot. And that's a coaching platform too. Community is a coaching platform. And people really need to take advantage and attach to other individuals that are either doing exactly what you're doing, or they can guide you to exactly what you want to do. Yeah, this has been absolutely phenomenal. You are phenomenal. I will give you the last 2 or 3 minutes to kind of just share anything you want with our viewers and our listeners about just, that leadership mindset and just, going for gold.
Yeah, my first business coach used to always say, you cannot be the world's best kept secret. She would say that, and it was so right. People have an idea inside them that they know is a passion they want to pursue, and they will just keep it to themselves. I'm like, not only are you stopping yourself, but like, it's kind of selfish to not tell people that you can have the keys or nuggets that they need to be successful wherever it is that you excel at, and you don't. Right. So I never think of what I'm doing for a living as selling. Like, I'm really not selling. I am helping a lot of women reach limits they never thought they could. I'm helping people like go through and hit PRs on the platform, off the platform, that they never thought they'd be strong enough to do that. They didn't even imagine they could hit those numbers. But on top of that, they are impacting their families with it, which I love. And so once I switched my mindset to, I'm just helping people do what I love, and it's a service that I love providing, versus I'm trying to get a sale to pay my bills because I'm hoping that I don't lose the house. Like, once I switched that, it became very different. So that's a big thing. You're not selling, you are giving people a way to enhance their lives.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. And I think that just piece right there needs to be on repeat for a lot of us, right? Because it's so true. When your mission is authentic to the results and not the transaction,
Mhm.
it makes life a whole lot different and easier. First of all, we're selling every day. Let's just not get that twisted, right? We're selling on, hey, you should watch this movie. Hey, you
Yep.
should try this drink. Hey,
Mhm.
you should go to this island, right? We're selling every day based on our experiences and what we do. So that is huge. But we don't call it selling. We call
No.
it sharing. Our only job in this world to do is share what has worked for us and create something that we can pay that forward, which is our services, and God will do the rest.
I fully agree with you.
Thank you so much, Solana. You have been absolutely phenomenal. I continue to bless your journey. Can't wait to see what life has to offer the both of us. You know, as we are connected, we are now attached at the hip. You are going to be in our top 200 interviews. So we'll be celebrating and inviting you back very, very soon for a reintroduction. What we do is after every 50 episodes that we um, post, we actually re-invite our guests back and re-highlight them and their journey and see where they're at from the time of this broadcast. So I absolutely appreciate you, appreciate your friendship, and can't wait to see what the world has for you as well.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You are absolutely welcome. Thank you all again for continuing to support and listen to Building a Leadership Mindset podcast. If you're looking to bring your story here, connect with us, you can check everything out at buildingaleadershipmindset.com. I would love to have you and your story here. Thank you. Continue to make those decisions. Don't wait any longer. Start today. The time is now, because if not now, when? Have a great day. And as I always say, make it count. Bye, everyone.